Now we're going to do the woven fabric, which is a thick fabric, maybe like wool. And then we're going to talk a little bit about shading and coloring the hair. So that will complete all the figures. If there's a garment that's not a required garment on the list, you still would need to shade it using at least 2 values in any media that you choose. Now we're going to make a woven fabric. It would be like a wool, usually kind of a heavy fabric. So what I've done is shaded, colored with a wash, and shaded this pair of pants and let it dry. And then we're going to apply 2 colored pencils to make a crosshatch design to look like a woven fabric. So you're going to add, I'm using brown and red. One direction, and then you can cross in the opposite direction. And you can take the other color and do the same thing over. So it's kind of a tight woven fabric and kind of heavy. And then you can take the darker color, fill in some areas, emphasize the shading that's under there already with the paint. But you can use it to do a little bit more shading. And of course you would complete the whole pair of pants. Okay. Then we'll talk a little bit about hair. So all the hair would have some highlight, even if it's a dark colored hair. So in this case, black hair, close to the back of the neck. And as it gets closer to the light source, then you'll have some highlights. All hair will have some highlights. And I'm using a black pencil, and at first you could use watercolor or you could use marker to create the overall shadow. Don't use just colored pencil because it won't be as strong. Then you could emphasize some of the clumps and directions of the hair, the general movement of the hair. And then this is a light-haired person, so you wouldn't want to use yellow. It might be too strong. You don't want a screaming yellow, unless you want somebody having screaming yellow hair. But what you would do to calm it down is mix yellow with its complement, which is purple. Mix it, add some white. And so what I did was paint the color, the light yellow color, and then darken with some shading with the colored pencil. And then you could even take a light colored pencil and kind of blend the two. First the ink line, same with the black haired person, the ink line. Here's a brunette person, same thing. You could use paint underneath for the general shapes, and then I used brown for the shading behind, close to the face, and behind, back of the neck. It would be darker, and then leave some highlights, especially on top, a little bit on the sides, and colored pencil. So colored pencil and watercolor go really well together. This person, curly hair, I used marker first, and then I used some black colored pencil to emphasize the shading and some of the lines a little bit more. So that's woven and different hair. The hat, you can do anything you want with the hat, at least 2 values. Same with the shoes and any other accessories that you have.